Hi, I'm Josh Krupp. Welcome to the Pioneer Spotlight, where each week we feature a Point Park Pioneer team, athlete, or coach. And this year we're getting started early with the women's basketball season. They start practices officially on Monday, and we have their head coach, Tony Grenikin, here in the CMI studios this week to talk about the women's basketball team and what we're looking at this season. Coach, thanks for coming down.
No problem, Josh. Thanks for having me.
So last year's season was the first year that the team missed the playoffs under your regime. Since taking over, the team's won 75% of the games that you've coached. But what was it like missing the playoffs last year, and how is the team going to use that kind of as fuel for motivation this year?
I think it was very devastating to all of us to not make the playoffs last year. We had a tremendous amount of injuries. I think that everybody knows that, but everybody goes through injuries. I think what was disheartening last year was just our conference schedule. We played 17 conference games, and 14 of those games were on back-to-back days. We were the only team in the conference that played 7 back-to-back games, whether we were home or away. So, it limited our preparation time. It wore us down. And to be honest with you, I think it took the fun away from my players, but that has since been rectified by the league. So, to say we're very motivated this year would be an understatement. So, I think we'll be ready to go.
8-9 last year in those 17 conference games. How does this year's conference schedule compare to last year's?
It's similar in the fact of the order of where we play the teams, which is fine. But now there are no back-to-back games whatsoever. So we'll at least have a day's rest in between games. For example, last year, we went to IU East, played them at 6 o'clock on a Friday night. Then our men's team had to play IU East men on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. And then the following day, for a noon tip-off, we had to be at Ohio Christian, which is basically 2 hours away, and our men had to play at 2. So we now have gotten that rectified within the conference. So, like I said, it looks like we'll be playing, I believe, our conference games Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Let's talk about the players that are coming back this season. After losing Selena DePietro, Carly Force, a couple names from the last few years. This year returning, among others, Marissa Agers, Bailey Bulika. How are the returners that are coming back on this team, you're looking to them to be your leaders? How are they going to step up this season?
I named Shania Rivers our captain. It's amazing that she's a senior already, her and Bailey Bulika. They've been with me for 4 years. And, I had a nice long talk with Shania, and we talked about what we want to accomplish, what we've been through the past 2 or 3 years. And so all of the seniors have worked really hard. Marissa's Agers is nursing a little bit of a knee injury. She should be fine within a couple weeks. It's nothing major, hopefully. But, everybody's been great, the newcomers, the returning players from last year. So we're really excited to get things kicked off.
And Katelyn Smith, another name coming back this year, and a lot of students have started to recognize her name, and whether it's in the emails or at the campus activities board, she's really stepped up outside of the classroom. How has that leadership been fun for you to watch develop over the last few years?
She earned that award this year, and by the way, congratulations to you for earning your award. That's remarkable.
Thank you.
And that's what being in college is all about, is accomplishing great things, whether you're an athlete or part of some sort of other activity, but by the same token, doing great things in the classroom. And Kate's just a tremendous person, straight A student. I always make the joke, but this is true. Since she's been here, she's gotten straight A's, but one class she's gotten an A-. And I can't believe a professor would give her an A-. That's keeping her. She has like a 3.99999. So, but just a great kid. Tremendous person, and we're looking and expecting big things from her as well this year.
And expecting big things from a lot of the newcomers. It's a larger roster this year, looking to add maybe some depth this season on the team.
Yeah, I think that I come to the realization if we're going to be successful in this conference, and especially in our half of the conference with teams like IU East and Rio Grande, who have been good forever, and then the other schools now coming getting used to the conference, Ohio Christian and West Virginia Tech, and Carlo's gotten a new coach who's tremendous. We need to add to our depth. We talked about the injury bug last year a little bit. We have to put ourselves in a situation where, if one or two players go down, you don't pack in the season or struggle or have to change your philosophy. So, we have a tremendous freshman class with a couple transfers sprinkled in, and they're athletic, they work hard, and they kind of have that attitude that we've been missing the past couple of years.
Well, thanks, Coach. As I said, practice gets underway next Monday officially. The team's been working out throughout the offseason and in these first couple weeks of school. They're starting officially on October 28th and 29th. Those are the first games on the schedule at Lawrence Tech. Point Park opens the season at home on November 5th against Georgetown. You're going to want to be there for that game. Head coach Tony Grenick looking for big things from the women's basketball season this year. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you for having me.